What's going on, guys? Fantasy Stock Exchange here, bringing you another part of our team mock draft series. Again, 2020 NFL mock drafts. We're going 7 rounds deep. This is the second installment in our NFC South. We're deep diving in Bush's favorite team here, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, Bush, what do you want to say about your favorite team here?
Let's get a Super Bowl.
Yeah, face the Cowboys in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, you wish.
Now, going into this, I mean, we kind of mentioned obviously we would want to get a guy like a right tackle, like if Jedrick Wills here. Now, would you be opposed to trying to trade up to acquire a guy like that?
I'd like to see. We'll pause the draft starting at pick 5. Like
Yeah.
pause it after each pick because I want to see how the board falls. Because
Okay.
certain teams, like certain tackle needy teams, if they don't take a tackle, like if the Giants don't take one, or if like the Cardinals don't take one, like we could probably wait on it. But if there's like 3 tackles off the board, we got to probably hop the Browns or the Jets.
Okay, let's do it. So we're at 6 here. No tackles
Okay,
are
no
gone.
tackles. That's good.
No tackles yet.
Yeah, still no tackles. We could probably sit pat, to be honest.
We have
Kuda at
6 picks.
7.
That's a steal.
Wow, that is a steal.
So I mean, we got 4 tackles here and 7 picks left. Realistically, we're looking at the Cardinals.
Only 3 teams can pick a tackle, in my opinion, of these guys.
I can see
So
the Jaguars doing it, to be quite honest.
if they do, then we'll try and trade up. But I don't. I think we're
Okay.
probably all right here.
All right, let's do it. So there goes Wirfs,
Works.
Kinlaw. Yes, one should make it to us.
I think hopefully it's Thomas.
Wow.
Oh my God, they picked Xavier. Oh my God, we're gonna have a choice of 3 tackles.
What the heck?
If Jedrick Wills is here, this is the greatest pick of all time. Jedrick Wills. It's not. I'm not even thinking twice about it. This John Ledyard of pewterreport.com wrote an article called the most ideal scenario for the Bucks, and it's trading up for Jedrick Wills. So if Jedrick Wills is there at 14, run to the podium. Run.
I mean, he's a natural right tackle, and that's what you guys need. Simply
Yeah,
put.
he played a bit of left in college too, but he's the best tackle in the draft in my opinion, and he is also the best scheme fit, and he already plays the position. So it's a no-brainer to me.
I mean, we're looking back on the clock here, and this is going to be another fit if Dobbins or Taylor are here.
Oh my God, Jonathan Taylor's on the board.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't think there's any way you guys could pass him.
I don't either. I don't think you can. I love Clyde Edwards-Helaire for the Bucks, but Jonathan Taylor's on the board. Like,
yeah, I don't think we overthink
Taylor.
this.
Pick Jonathan Taylor. Like, you can't overthink that. Jonathan Taylor's the best running back in this class. This is gonna be a quick fucking video.
So every Bucks fan, including Bush over here, is gonna be.
That is the most ideal the most ideal scenario for the Bucks in the draft is that they get an elite running back, which I think Jonathan Taylor is, as like a prospect, and an elite tackle, which I think Jedrick Wills is. If you get those 2 things, even if it's not Jedrick Wills, like if you get Andrew Thomas, like it's still an elite, like it's still a great pick.
Yeah, sorry, my light just kind of went out.
Oh no, that's who I was gonna pick.
Which one, Ashton Davis?
Ashton Davis. I think Ashton Davis would have been a steal here too. I think he's in the top 50 of my big board, so he would have been a steal if he was still here.
I mean, we could look at who else is on the board. I mean, is there any interior line that we care about here? Damian Lewis is not bad. Nick Harris, Natani Muti. I mean, I know you.
They don't need an interior.
I was gonna say, I know you like Kappa.
Yeah, Alex Kappa stepped up a lot in his second year. He was basically Pro Football Focus referred to him as the best weak link in the NFL, meaning that he was technically the lowest graded player on their offensive line, but of all the NFL teams, he was the best of all the weakest players on their offensive line. So I think, and he was a second-year player from a Division II school. Yeah. So he was, and he was a tackle in college too. So he wasn't even a guard. So he stepped in, played right guard his rookie year, looked not great towards the end of his rookie year, and then we all had a lot of questions coming into this year, and then he performed really well in his second year. Like, basically, the way I look at it is you never saw him make mistakes, and for an offensive lineman, that's a good thing. If you don't notice them, it's a good thing. So
I agree there. I mean,
I think interior line to me is not even remotely as high a need as they have it listed. So
I mean, again, I'm not the biggest Bucks expert. I just need like Alex Kappa or whatever. So I just wanted to leave that to you, what you were thinking. But yeah, if you like Kappa, we can definitely segue somewhere else. I mean, 3rd round, 76 here. Where are you looking to really attack? Because I see safety, I see edge. I think we can get a slot receiver next round that could really pair with the 2 you guys have. But
yeah,
what are you thinking?
Just quickly on the O line again. Ali Marpet's a stud, and so is Ryan Jensen. So they don't. The interior O line is set, in my opinion. I don't think they need an O lineman at all, other than a tackle, obviously. But can you go to quarterback real quick? I just want to see it.
Oh yeah.
Jalen Hurts is on the board. Okay, this is interesting because to me, Jalen Hurts of the quarterbacks left is by far and away the best
Easily.
prospect there. Jacob Eason, anyone who's watched this for any period of time knows that me and Danny are not fans of Jacob Eason. I'm not
If you
even.
want,
I have him. I got a fifth round grade on him.
yeah.
He's not even remotely like on the radar for me right
If
now.
you want to hear the Jacob Eason love, you just gotta listen to a video with Tyler in it, and then
Yeah,
it'll
exactly.
balance us out. But
Can you go to receiver real quick? Because to me,
yeah,
it's either Jalen Hurts or the best receiver on the board right now is the pick.
I mean
Michael
Pittman, you already
Pittman
have
Jr.
Evans,
Yeah,
Jones. I mean maybe Edwards. Edwards would be good, but then I know you really like Van Jefferson. We could
Van
probably get him
Jefferson's
next
who I
round.
want, and I've seen him fall to the fourth round before. So go pick Jalen Hurts because I think Van Jefferson's going to be. And I honestly don't think KJ Hill and Lynn Bowden are horrible picks either for
Agreed.
what we need.
Well, we got Jalen Hurts at 76. Pittman goes right off the board again. Damian Lewis, Donovan Peoples-Jones. I like Terrell Burgess. I mean, if the Cowboys can get him at 82, I think that's a fantastic pick there. He's a good versatile
On
safety.
DPJ too. I think the Bucks are gonna like DPJ. I think in the third round he's definitely, if he's there, he's definitely in the mix. I think they'll like Brian Edwards also because I
Yeah,
think Brian
agreed.
Edwards is a little bit like Chris Godwin.
I love Brian Edwards personally, but yeah, I don't know how other teams think.
Oh, stupid Eagles!
I was gonna say, where did you guys? Oh, 117.
I gave you
Yeah.
guys a good. We gave you a good draft, Eagles. Come on, gonna ruin my
Now,
draft.
I have one question for you because there's a guy I'm looking at here. I mean,
It's Gabe Davis to me.
I was gonna say, what about Tyler Johnson?
Tyler Johnson. The reason I don't like picking Tyler Johnson in mock drafts is because I don't think he's going to get drafted. Period. I
I don't
think
get why
the
though. Why
league.
are NFL teams so much lower on him than like the general media? I don't see anything about
It's
his game when you
no,
watch
it's
him.
not his game. It's not his game. It's his personality and his medicals and his like his he has off field flags too. Like I think he's like Preston Williams. Look at him like Preston Williams because I think Preston Williams was like a third round receiver, but he had off field issues and I think he had something medical as well. Tyler Johnson to me, who if he goes like I'd love to pick him here. I think he's the best receiver on the board, and I don't even think it's close. But
Agreed.
I don't think he's going to get drafted like at all. Like we saw Emmanuel Hall and Demarcus Lodge not get drafted, and I think they had similar tape to Johnson, and they didn't have any concern. So I don't think he's going to get drafted. Period. So I
No.
think Tyler Johnson is a great player, and I think he's going to probably outperform wherever he gets drafted. But you can't pick him here because he's probably going to he's got some off-field concerns and personality concerns, so it's too big of a risk to me.
Now,
I think
what
Gabe Davis is the best guy on the board right
I
now.
was gonna mention, what are your thoughts on like a Bowden or like say if we saw Antonio Gibson and like we put Antonio Gibson as more of like a receiving weapon type.
Is he on the
Uh,
board?
that's what I was
He's
gonna
listed
check.
on a running back. Yeah,
He's
he's gone.
gone. Unfortunate. All right. So yeah, if you like
And
Gabe Davis, let's take him.
I like Devin Duvernay as well, but I don't think the Bucks will like him because I think Duvernay projects kind of as a 50-50 slot to outside guy. And I know Bruce Arians loves his slot receivers to be able to block, and I don't think Duvernay really has the frame to do that. I think that's what Godwin's for because Godwin's like a thick dude who can
Oh yeah.
block in the
Who are you
slot. They
arguing
run
with?
like wham blocks with him. Like
Yeah, who are you
honestly.
arguing with on Twitter that like, oh, they need to bring in like a small
Oh,
little.
Jim Nagy. Jim Nagy, the guy who runs the Senior Bowl, was telling me that they need to bring in like a Julian Edelman type receiver. I'm like, Bruce Arians doesn't like those type of receivers because they can't block. Like, not saying Julian Edelman can't block because I think he can block, but
Like Adam
you're not going to
Humphreys.
get Julian Edelman. So
I mean, you guys
Adam
lost Adam
Humphreys can't
Humphreys
block.
2 years
Like I've
ago.
seen Adam Humphreys in Tampa before, and he can't block. And like small receivers like that, it's hard for you to block linebackers one-on-one. And I
Yeah.
think Julian Edelman, if you can get Julian Edelman all day, sign up for it. But
Now,
Julian Edelman, I don't think is available. So
now,
um,
realistically, here, if the like, I know we're just playing like hypotheticals. If you're trying to poach a guy like Julian Edelman away from the Pats, like, what do you think like the price would be? Like a 5 or 6?
this pick probably.
Okay, so like a 4, yeah.
So we have 2 fours. So I would give him a fourth.
All right, yeah. So I mean, we're playing hypotheticals here, so like obviously that's not going to be the case, like in
Yeah.
terms of making this mock draft right now. So let's just take Gabe Davis and move on. Yeah,
Yeah, I really like the fit of Gabe Davis. I think he like I kind of said about Devin Duvernay. I think he's got inside outside versatility, but I think he's a little sturdier, and I think he's also just I think he's more polished as well
agree.
than Duvernay is. I think Duvernay is like pretty raw as a player, and I think with the state of the team that it's in right now, you want a guy that can probably step in and contribute right away.
Yeah, so we're back on the clock here. Second pick of the fourth round. Pick 139.
You know where I'm going right now.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
let's see if you know it without me saying it.
oh, Jerry.
Is J.R. Reed on the board? J.R. Reed's on the board. Don't think twice. Pick J.R. Reed. That's in my opinion, it's just the easiest pick. The draft network's too low on J.R. Reed, in my opinion. J.R. Reed is a third round player, in my opinion. Like the way I have him graded is a mid third rounder, and he brings them something that I think they're missing right now with Justin Evans on IR from turf toe. They have Jordan Whitehead, who's like kind of like a great like thumper type safety box guy, but you need someone with a little bit more range, and I think J.R. Reed definitely offers
Brings
that. I
that.
know they like Dakota Dixon as well, who was undrafted last year, who got hurt in training camp, but they still kept him, which is very rare for a team to keep an undrafted free agent after he gets hurt for the entire year is rare. So I think they really like Dakota Dixon as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking back on the board here. Pick 161. Where are you thinking we go here? Edge?
Yeah,
So, I mean, there's nobody really. I don't know. Do you like anybody on the board?
Carter Coughlin, but it might be too early for him.
I mean, we say this every time. We're like, oh yeah, let's give him a mid round edge, and like
The
we always
edge
look at the
depth in
board.
this class is not good. It's just
Ugh.
not. This is not the year to need an edge rusher because even at the top, it's not great. Aside from Chase Young and Chase On, in my opinion, it's a pretty steep drop off. I know a lot of people like Yitzhak Gross Matos. I'm not one of those people. So
Yeah. I don't hate him. I mean, I think he's like more of like a second round player, but people are gonna try to force him into the mid to late first round. So that's just my thoughts.
Khalil Davis is intriguing to me. What's Khalil Davis' way? Can you click on his report real quick?
305.
305. Okay, that's exactly what I thought. He was kind of in the neighborhood. To me,
Is
he's a good kind of like heir apparent to Sue if Sue wants to move on.
does he like? Is he the better or worse brother? Because I know there's like two fucking or sorry, excuse my language. Two twin brothers, uh, that play on the Nebraska defensive line. I know one of them is like
I think Khalil's the better one.
we can just check. Yeah, yeah. There he is,
Yeah,
Carlos.
Carlos Davis. Yeah,
Yeah,
Khalil's the more athletic one. I know that for sure. But
yeah. I
yeah, I
mean,
think he's a great guy to bring into their IDL rotation needs some work. I know they lost the Patriots signed Bo Allen in free agency, who was
oh yeah.
like their like fourth guy up or whatever. So I think they need depth and also William Golston and Dominican Sue are getting up there in age, and they're both kind of like contract wise, they're like question marks going in next year. So if you want to get Khalil Davis, maybe groom him to take over for one of those two guys if one of them wants to move on next year. So I think the pick's Khalil Davis here.
I like that. Now you said William Golson. Is that Vernon Golson's brother or cousin?
I don't know if there's any relation, to be
Because
honest.
the first round bust from like literally
Hmm.
2007. I don't know. It just rang a bell when I heard that. But
He might be. I'm not sure.
we'll check it after. I mean, the viewers could probably look it up on their phones as we're doing this. But yeah, Khalil Davis here, pick 161, fifth round, good value. Cowboys getting Isaiah Hodgins. I like that a lot too. But I'm not going to talk about every one of the Cowboys picks, even though I'm a huge fan.
I mean, we've done it every other video
Yeah,
again.
literally. Harrison Bryant to the Pats. Wow.
Harrison Bryant's going too late, man.
Yeah, I know. Jacob Phillips. I like that.
Please let there be an edge rusher on the board worth a damn.
There's nobody that you even care about at all.
Please, Carter Coughlin. Please, Carter Coughlin. Please, Carter Coughlin. He's the only guy on the board I like. Carter Coughlin. That's the pick.
Fuck it. Let's do it.
Yeah, so the Bucks lost Carl Nassib in free agency to the Raiders, who's Carl Nassib's pretty underrated. I think he's like a 6 to 8 sack guy, like lock him in a rotation pass rush specialist, and he's pretty decent against the run. So you bring in a guy like Carter Coughlin to replace him. They drafted Anthony Nelson in the fourth round last year. It's just good depth behind your two stud guys in JPP and Shaq Barrett. So
Yeah, I like it. I mean, we're gonna have a little wait here, considering we have no picks left.
yeah.
So, yeah.
This is gonna be a home run draft for me. This is how I would do it. This is not what I think is gonna happen, even though I do think that Jedrick Wills and Jonathan Taylor would be predictive picks if the board were to fall that way. I think that's exactly how it would go.
I,
Jalen Hurts, I don't think they're gonna pick Jalen Hurts personally. I don't think they're gonna pick a quarterback at all. I think they like Blaine Gabbert as the backup. I think quarterback is more of a next year type thing for them. I think they're going to probably draft a quarterback next year, either like probably like second, third round, maybe not like
Trevor
first round.
Lawrence. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God. Brady gets hurt and we tank for Trevor Lawrence. I don't hate it. Yeah, but like in terms of the mid, like this is exactly what I would do, and I love the outcome for the Bucks. I think it fills pretty much every need that they have, except for maybe some O line depth, which they probably could use. But you can pick up, especially interior guys, is I think where they need the depth the most. And I think interior guys, they signed Joe Haig from the Colts, who's a great swing tackle for them.
Yep.
But their interior depth is not good, and I think you could probably find some undrafted gems. Interior linemen from small schools is their specialty. They turned Ali Marpet into a superstar, and it looks like Alex Kappa is going to be a solid player for his career. So I think the interior line definitely needed some depth, but other than that, I think we addressed all their needs.
Yeah, so going over our 7 rounds for the podcast listeners, at 14 we took Jedrick Wills, offensive tackle from Alabama. 45, Jonathan Taylor, running back from Wisconsin. 76, Jalen Hurts, quarterback from Oklahoma. At 117 we got Gabriel Davis, wide receiver from University of UCF. University, you know what I mean?
Central Florida.
Yeah, Central Florida. Yeah, that kind of rang off wrong. Going back to that, J.R. Reed, safety, Georgia from at 139. Khalil Davis, interior defensive lineman from Nebraska at 161. And then to top off our draft, we got Carter Coughlin, edge rusher from Minnesota at 194. So I know Bush is a big fan of this. What are you thinking? What are we thinking for grade?
I just realized there's a Nebraska connection from Sue and Levante David both went to Nebraska, so they'll love Khalil Davis for that reason. But I love this. I think the first 2 picks are absolutely home runs, like absolute home runs. Like Jedrick Wills is not going to be there. I don't think there's a chance in hell he's there at 14. So if he's there, you sprint to the podium because he's exactly what you're looking for. He's a dream fit for that offense. He's perfect. Great polished right tackle. He can play right away. You slot him in there. You don't think twice about it. Jonathan Taylor, same thing. He's the best running back in this class, in my opinion. And him and Ronald Jones aren't, while they're not the best complements to each other, I think they definitely both are similar in their fact that I think Jonathan Taylor can give you something in pass protection that Ronald Jones hasn't shown yet. So I think they're pretty similar as receivers. You might want to upgrade and get a receiving back in free agency. But
as much as you like Ronald Jones, man, like if Jonathan Taylor's on the board there at 45, there's no way in freaking hell you can pass on him. I mean, he's a freaking freak.
Yeah,
he's insane. So yeah, I mean, as much as Bucs fans love their Ronald Jones, I mean, Jonathan Taylor's
I love Ronald Jones, not necessarily all Bucs fans, but I think Ronald Jones is a great player. So I was more looking towards a guy like Clyde Edwards-Helaire because I think they complement each other well, and I think Ronald Jones is still liked by the organization and they still want to use him. But yeah, like you said and like we've repeated, Jonathan Taylor is Nick Chubb to me. I think that's who I compared him to. I think he's a great. I think he's a great running back, and I think he's a better runner than Ronald Jones is, and receiver wise, they're pretty comparable. And he's better in pass protection. So I think he's almost a pure upgrade across the board over Ronald Jones. And you can still use both guys. So
I was just going to mention, I mean, we compare him to Nick Chubb, and as athletic and fast as Nick Chubb is at 4.52, Jonathan Taylor literally ran a 4.39.
Yeah.
Like, he's a faster Nick Chubb. As much as I love Nick Chubb, I think he's a top 10 running back in the league. Jonathan Taylor can step in and be that too. So
yeah, and Ronald Jones runs a 4.42. So you got 2 home run hitters.
Yeah. So
given the other picks I want to talk about real quick is Jalen Hurts. To me, is the perfect quarterback to groom because Jalen Hurts, everyone knows about his personality. He's great for your locker room. He's a great guy. He's willing to wait and sit under the wing of Tom Brady because he's done it before at Alabama. I think it's just a slam dunk pick. I think Jalen Hurts is my QB5.
Same.
I think he has room to grow. Some people seem to think he's kind of like a finished product because he's like
not even
like a
close.
Senior. I think he has a lot of room to grow. I think working like and how many like. Can you ask for a better tutor than Bruce Arians and Tom Brady? Like, are you kidding me?
I mean, I'm not going to compare him to Deshaun Watson, but like those kind of proven winners at big programs, for whatever reason, people will just find a way to hit on their game. Like Deshaun Watson coming out, people had him as their QB3, QB4 simply because like, oh, he doesn't have the mechanics. Sorry, not mechanicals. He doesn't have the mechanics. His throw power is off. People are like, I'm not comparing Jalen Hurts to Deshaun Watson because I did have Deshaun Watson like a decent bit higher, but Jalen Hurts is my quarterback 5. I think he's personally a second round type player, but there are some people that have him outside their top 6, top 7. I'm just like, how can you do that? How can you pick a guy apart that much when he's literally shown to be such a playmaker at the college level?
It's the big stage factor. When he's on a big stage, he's at a big school, 2 big schools. When he's at 2 big schools like that, people see him a lot, and they like they'll watch. They probably see like most of the general public has probably seen more interceptions of Jalen Hurts than they have of Justin Herbert, even though they both play at big schools. Yeah, or James Morgan or Anthony Gordon or like these guys that are like developmental guys. Like I think Jalen Hurts is better developmentally than all of them because he's simply put he's got he's got the personality to be developed. Like none of us have met him personally, obviously, but we know we've heard from a lot of teams have been saying like, oh, Jalen Hurts is just a great locker room presence and all that. As far as the other picks, I'm just gonna kind of skip over them
Brief
real
over them.
quick because I don't want to make this video run too long. Gabe
Agreed.
Davis is a great fit. You mix him in with Scotty Miller and Justin Watson, and I think you kind of do a wide receiver 3 by committee, if that makes any sense. You also have your 2 tight ends if you want to mix them in more than they probably should have been mixed in last year. So J.R. Reed is probably one of my favorite players in the draft. I think he's got a lot of range. I don't think a lot of people talk about him enough, and I think he's going to be a much better pro than he was a college player. Khalil Davis, again, like I mentioned, he's got the Nebraska pedigree that Ndamukong Suh will like. I think he's a good athlete. I think he's not exactly the type of mold that Todd Bowles uses at D tackle. I think he likes more of the pocket pusher type. But I think you pair a more explosive guy with Vita Vea for the long term. Again, this is a 6th round pick or a 5th round pick. We don't know
Yeah.
if he's going to be around like super long, but I think it's a good fit, and you could probably groom him into a rotational role at least. And then Carter Coughlin, I think he's just got some upside. He's more of a boomer bust type pick for me.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking him at the end of the draft. Like that's what you
Yeah,
go for.
exactly.
But yeah, again, we just briefed over the draft. Go like and subscribe. Leave us comments in the comment section. Whether you like, disagree, agree with any of the picks. Flame us for whatever you want to. Oh, you don't like Jalen Hurts in the 3rd round? Tell us why. Again, we are free to engage with you guys in the comments. We look forward to seeing you guys try to chirp us in the comments. So,
This
and
one will be harder for you, I can assure you that, because this team I definitely know.
trust me, we're a couple Canadian.
Sometimes I'll be less willing to hear advice about this team because this is my team. Normally, I like to trust people on their own teams because I don't follow their teams like I do mine. This to me is an ideal scenario. We didn't actually grade this. Let's give this a grade.
A plus.
This is an A plus draft. It is. It's an A plus alone because of the 2 first picks. To me, it doesn't matter what happened after that. It's an A plus because of the first 2 picks.
Agreed. I mean, but yeah, we're a couple Canadian boys. We love our chirp. So go ahead, bring us in the comments. Yeah, anything else you want to add before we sign off, or?
Check out the website, thefantasystockexchange.com. We're going to be pumping out some content on there. Draft guide, rookie draft guide releases April 26th. It's also free. I don't know if we mentioned that enough. It's free. So we're providing you guys with value before and not making you open your checkbooks. So definitely check that out. The week of the draft, there'll be a 3-round mock with the 4 of us from the channel. Actually, I believe Nick will be joining us as well.
Notorious Fantasy.
He'll be the commissioner. We'll make it real Hollywood for you guys and dress it up nice and
suit and tie.
Yeah, definitely get some premium draft content the week of the draft because we know that's pretty much all anyone has in sports right now is the NFL draft. So,
yep. Again, yeah, everything that Bush said just echoes it. So, peace out, y'all. I mean, yeah.